Good afternoon, and I welcome you students for another amazing session on another amazing topic, metals and non-metals. We have already finished with you acid, bases and salts. We also discussed their quiz and also important questions were solved for the topic of the acid, bases and salts. The next topic which is in our course is metals and non-metals. Before we start our session, student, we want to activate, we want to increase our energy level, release the stiffness, release the stretch from the body. There is some pain or somewhere, some stiffness is there, tension, stress is there. We will release it, sit comfortably on the chair, and we will do few exercises to relieve ourselves of the stresses. Are you ready? Be with me, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first we will do Bastrika. We will inhale up, exhale down. 10 rounds. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulders are the most important parts of our body. There should be no stiffness in the shoulder. You know, when we sit on the laptops, what happens? There is a lot of stress here. We will remove it. Shoulder rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, come back. These are my hands. Rotate your hands, rotate your hands, rotate your hands, rotate your hands. You can inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Breathing is very important. When we breathe in, breathe out, it gives a lot of, removes the stress from the body. It's very important, students, breathing. Now, what will we do? Neck. This neck is very important when I study, and a lot of our neck muscles, we will feel some stiffness here, some tension, some tension. We will release it. We will release it. How will we release it? We will say right, left, right, left. Inhale, exhale. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We can do 3 times clockwise rotation of the neck, 3 times anti-clockwise. Half inhale, half exhale. Clockwise rotation of the neck. Start. Slow and gentle. Be kind, gentle, and good with the parts of your body. Reverse, anti-clockwise. Slow, slow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Slow. Inhale, exhale. Okay, come back. Now tap your feet on the ground. Tap your feet on the ground. You have the feet. Tap the feet on the ground. Tap the feet on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we have done, students, just release your hands like this before we start our session. Release it. Everything, we have loosened our body. The blood circulation is now going on all over the body. So what we have done, we have improved our energy levels. Energy, we are giving energy, boosting. Okay, now after that we will do a breathing exercises to relax our mind, relax. We have to focus. Focus is the most important thing in our life. When we focus on a particular chapter, on a topic or anything which we are studying, or you have seen in the Olympics, the players do a lot of focus. If they lose their focus, they will lose the game. Well, any player, it has to have very high focus. So breathing exercises are very good for improving our focus, for improving our attention, and releasing the stress molecules which are present in our mind. We will release all negative thoughts. distractions from the mind, then we can focus. It's very important. So what breathing we will do, students? We will inhale deeply from the nostril, inhale deeply from the nostril, and these are my two thumbs. I am going to put in my ears. Inhale, and you will release. Your mouth is not opening, with honeybee sound, zoo. This is called Brahmari. This is a very effective technique for relaxation of mind. So students, sit comfortably, relax your body, and close your eyes. We are going to have 3 rounds. So close your eyes, and now take the position of the Brahmari. 1, 2, 3, start. Inhale. Second round. Inhale. Last round. Come back. Keep your eyes closed, relax, normal breathing, keep breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring your attention on your breathing, breathing. Notice your breathing. It is going from the nostril. When the breath goes in, what happens? Your chest and belly expands. When you breathe out, your chest and belly is compressed. Normal breathing. Now you rub your 2 hands, first slowly, then fast. What happens? You will find hands are becoming hot, heating up, and just put these on your eyes and face gently, healing, healing your entire body with the healing energy, heat energy, like a magnetic field. It goes into the entire body. And slowly, students, fold your hands for an attitude of gratitude, prayer to the God, universe, and the environment. We are thankful to the God, we are thankful to the universe, to the environment for the beautiful life we have. And we promise to do our best and best. Now you can open your eyes with smiles and 3 claps. 1, 2, 3. Come back. Come back. See the students, what we have done. Why we did that? Stress out, mind relaxed. Now our intention is that we are beginning a new chapter, metals and non-metals. Focus and pay attention. Focus and pay attention. So we will study some of the physical properties of metals and non-metals today in this topic. Okay, you are back.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel? Do you feel relaxed?
Yes, sir.
Do you have energy now? Blood circulation is good. Blood circulation is good. Now we can have a notebooks, colored pens, pencils. We will keep note of all the things which we study. Our brain has a memory. You know, I will tell you everything. The brain has a memory. We must be able to retain something in the mind. If our brain already has a lot of thoughts, negative thoughts and stress, then it deletes a lot of things. Attention becomes very poor. So we want good focus and we want to pay attention. This is the way we will learn and learn science. Very good. Okay, very good. All right. We are by session, students. Okay. Now, students, I'm back with you. I welcome you. Such a amazing session. And you people are very brilliant, good.
I want that you should be healthy, happy, and learn in a playful manner. I don't want to exhaust my student, punish my student unnecessarily. In a very relaxed state of mind, we will be able to focus better. Okay, metals and non-metals. You are seen that there are about 118 elements which have been listed in the periodic table. Am I right? Tell me. Be with me. Participate with me. Student, these are live webinars. You will enjoy the topic. This is a periodic table which I have shown you. You have seen this picture before. Tell me, students, have you seen this? Did you see this type of periodic table anywhere in the books? Tell me yes or no. In your books, you have a periodic table? Yes or no? Tell me fast.
Yes, sir.
Then you have seen, I have listed a large number of elements here. And as per the modern form of the periodic table, they have given a list of 118 elements. Some of these elements are very well known to you. Can you name 4 elements which are very familiar to you? What are the 4 elements which are so familiar to you? Here's the periodic table is before you on the screen. Can you tell me which elements are very, very important and common to all of us? We are aware of that. Tell me. You can choose, you have a elements list before you. Are you aware of oxygen? Tell me. Oxygen. Nitrogen. You know so well about that. You are aware of the aluminium. Aluminium, you know, is being used in lot in construction and various other purposes. Aluminium metal, you are aware of that. Carbon, carbon, sugars you are eating, glucose you are eating, the food you are eating, your body. So hydrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. So these are the elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. These elements are so common to us students and very abundant. Hydrogen, you are aware of the hydrogen, so much there in the universe. The elements, basically, when I say these are elements, that means it is not possible to convert or break them chemically. They are the simplest units of the matter. And we have said that elements can be classified. How did we classify the elements? Classification of the elements. You have seen, students, classification of the elements. We are saying there are metals. What we say? You have metals. Non-metals. And third, what you have? What you are calling
Some
metals?
metalloids.
Metalloids. These are the metalloid. 3 things we are aware of, student, when we classify. The question is, on what basis you will classify these elements as metals, non-metals, and metalloids? What do you think about it?
Sir, on the basis of their physical and chemical properties.
Very good answer. Excellent answer. When I say this is a metal, there should be some properties, some characteristics on the basis of which I will say these are metals. And when I say non-metals, again, they will have a definite properties, physical as well as chemical, different from the metals. And metalloids, we say they have properties in between metals and non-metals. Very good. So if we study their physical properties and we study their chemical properties, if we study their physical properties, students, and their chemical properties, then we will understand and make a list of what are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. And then we can, why do we study all this chemistry? Why we are studying these metals, non-metal? Because we are going to use them. We are using them in our everyday life. There is a great use of this. So if we know their properties, physical and chemical, then we can put them and use them in our daily life. Ultimately, these metals are being used everywhere in everyday life. So based on their properties, therefore, in this table, you have seen how many colors are there in this periodic table? Tell me.
So three colors.
Very good. Keep with me. Pay attention. Pay attention. The reason is understand. There are three colors I can see. So you see the largest number of colors are these elements. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
These actually in the periodic table there are more elements which have been shown below this as lanthanides and actinoids. I have not taken it for this 10th class. I'm taking only a part of this. This is not a complete periodic table. There are two more groups down this table. Just to tell you that here, these color which you see, what are these? Metals. These are the metals which are shown in this orange type of color. And then you have non-metals which are shown in green type of color, non-metals, and metalloids. There are two more blocks in the periodic table model. We have not shown it here. Now students, tell me which are more, metals or non-metals in our.
Metals.
So in nature you have largest number of metals, maybe more than 75% or 85% are metals, and non-metals are very small in number, as you can see: boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count them. These are the noble gases, hydrogen. And metalloids are also small in number, as they have shown in this color. This is a color which is shown blue color, metalloids. Therefore, the classification of elements have been done: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. First thing should be to study the physical properties of metals. So what will we do, students? We will study the physical properties. Can you tell me what are physical properties of metals? What do you mean by physical properties? What we study in physical properties? If I say what are the physical properties, what we will study in the physical properties? How hard they are soft, what is their shape, what is the color, whether they conduct electricity, whether they are conductors of heat, whether they are malleable, ductile. All these properties will be studied. Their melting points, boiling points, they come in the physical properties. And when I will say discuss their chemical properties, then I will start reacting them with oxygen, hydrogen, halogens, and different chemical reactions will take place. That is the way we say physical and chemical properties, right? Any doubt? So we have to study their properties in order to classify them. Let us see what I mean. First thing is to study the physical properties of metals, student. And what we already know, here I have given a list of important physical properties. We are going to perform activities and experiments to demonstrate that these are the physical properties of metals. Can you have seen the names of the metals here? How many metals? These are all metals you have seen. This is iron, zinc, copper, silver, gold. These alkali metals, alkaline earth metals. There are other metals also, lanthanides and actinoids. So what it says, student, that metals can be hammered into thin sheets. What do you mean by thin sheets? You have seen so many sheets are being used at different construction purpose. Sheets. Have you seen sheets of the iron, sheets of aluminium? Tell me yes or no. Then we are saying metals.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ductile. What is a ductile? They mean they can be beaten into sheets. Then we are saying metals are good conductors. I will say metals are malleable also. What are malleable? What do you mean by malleable? Metals are malleable. What it means, students? Try to understand each and every word. Malleable means what? What do you mean by metal is malleable? You can form wires. You know, you are using copper wires at home in the electrical connection. What is that? Copper wires. Yes. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. they can conduct heat. You have utensils of metals, you heat the metal and then heat goes to the food, food is cooked. Electricity, as I show, copper wires, the whole connection of copper wires is there, they can conduct electricity. Metals are lustrous. What do you mean by lustrous? They have shiny appearance. Gold, you have seen gold, how much shining it has. Silver, gold, silver, copper, they have lustrous appearance, they have height and tensile strength. They are sonorous. What it means sonorous? In the school bells, you
So
have
they
seen
make sound.
there's bell, how they ring, dun, dun, dun. So you bang it with something, then they will make sonorous sound. You have seen the bells of the iron or other. Then metals are hard. What do you mean by hard? Can you break the iron piece? No, this is very hard. So these are some of the physical properties we are aware. We will now do activities. We will do activities, or what we say, experiments to find out how did we get these properties. You note down each and every point. First thing, let us see. We are saying metals in their pure state have shining surface. This property is called metallic luster. Important. Metals have metallic luster. As for example, I said gold, how much metallic luster it has, silver, copper. He says take samples of iron, copper, aluminum, and magnesium. What samples we are taking? Iron, copper, aluminum, and magnesium. And note the appearance of each sample. Clean the surface by rubbing them with sandpaper and note their appearance again. Now what answer you want to give on this activity? First I take this and note the appearance. After you rub it with sandpaper, then you note the appearance. What will happen when you rub with sandpaper? What is the purpose of sandpaper? Tell me. You have seen a sandpaper? What happens when you rub with sandpaper? Tell me, why are we rubbing them with sandpaper and what will be the result of that? And appearance again. What is your answer? Tell me what will happen. Be with me, participate with me. What will happen, students, if after rubbing with the sandpaper, there is a lot of dust or some other particles sticking on their surface? Yes or no? Tell me. And
Yes, sir.
when you will rub with sandpaper, what will happen? You will see a metallic luster. What you will see? A metallic luster. Because whatever impurities were sticking, they have been removed. They have been removed. So sandpaper removes all that dust particles or any other deposition which has taken place on their surface by physical or chemical means. So the result will be what type of appearance will be there? They will have a metallic
So a
luster.
lustrous appearance.
Lustrous appearance will be there. Very first property. So we can say that all the metals have a metallic luster. We can say after this activity, metals have metallic luster. Okay. Let us come to the second activity. Take small pieces of iron, copper, aluminum, magnesium. Try to cut these metal with sharp knife. Dekho what I have done again. What metals I am taking? Iron, copper, aluminum, magnesium. Take a knife and try to cut them. What do you think? What will happen? Or if you can do it in the science lab, what is your observation? Will the knife be able to cut them? Tell me, will you be able to cut them?
No, sir.
So they are hard, cannot be cut with knife. But there are few metals which can be cut with knife. Can you tell me which metal can be cut with knife? You know, whatever properties we are telling you, there will be exceptions to these properties. And those questions will become important for the exam. There could be a metal which is soft. For example, you see,
So
is it
sodium.
hold a piece of sodium metal with a pair of tongs. Why? Because sodium is very reactive, students. Sodium is a very reactive metal and is soft. Sodium is reactive and soft. Always handle sodium metal with care. Dry it by pressing with folds of filter paper, because sodium, if put in water, will explosive reaction. It catches fire in the atmosphere. It's very reactive. And this can be cut with a knife. Sodium is soft. It can be cut with the knife. So see the difference. But most of the metals are hard, and they are generally, that's why we use the word generally, student. I'm not saying all metals are very hard and red. So you will experience what I say. Pay attention to each and every word I write here. Say, fine, metals are generally hard, student. These are hard metals. Why the metals are hard? If I say something, what is a, you have studied what we talked of, that certain things are hard, they cannot be cut, certain are soft. What is the reason? The attractive force between the elements are very strong here. When the attractive force between the particles of which they are made up of, iron is made up of iron atoms, iron, they are inside it, what you have, iron, there is a strong force of attraction between these. They are sticking together, so they become hard. If the force of attraction between these particles become weak, what will happen? Then it is easy to cut them or break them. There is a attractive force which is holding these particles together, and if it is weak, we can cut it. If it is strong, we cannot cut it, because we studied that there are the matter is made up of tiny particles, and there is attractive force between these tiny particles. Did we study that in 9th class? Remember? Studied? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So our purpose is to explain you everything. So now we have found metals are generally student, iron, aluminum, copper, silver, gold, they are generally, we are saying, hard. That means there is a strong attractive force between these elements. Now students, you are saying malleable. Take the pieces of what, taking iron, you take zinc, take lead, they are all metals. You take copper, ठीक है, you can take gold and silver, all these, because they are very costly. These will be available in the science lab. Place any one metal on a block of iron, strike it 4 or 5 times with a hammer. What will happen? Take a piece of zinc, iron, lead or copper, hammer. You will hammer it. What you will observe? Tell me. What is the observation?
So they can be hammered into thin sheets.
Okay. What happens? What we observe, student, if we hammer them, then what you observe? They can be beaten into thin sheets. They can be beaten into thin sheets. So they'll can take the shape of the sheets. And therefore, this property is what we call as they are malleable. There is a change in shape of these metals on beating, and that is a great use to us. You know that you are making sheets of these metals and using them according to the properties. Aluminium sheets are being used in making Whatever metro construction took place, all these metals have been used. Aluminium metal has been used in large amounts. You can make sheets of that. Copper wires are already, you are aware. Okay, next. Another important property, can we make wires what we call as ductility? What is ductility, students?
So they can be drawn into thin wires.
Drawn into thin wires. Again, he's taking, you can take iron, copper, aluminium, lead, and which of the metals are available in the form of wire. You have seen the wires of iron, you know, copper, you know, copper wires, so much you are using already. They can be drawn into wires. Can you name the most malleable, most ductile metal? Question was, name most ductile metal. Which is the most ductile metal? Which is the most ductile metal, students?
So gold is the most ductile.
Gold. Answer is gold. It is interesting. Gold. You will be surprised, a wire of about 2 kilometer length can be drawn from 1 gram gold. If I take 1 gram gold, how long the wire can be? 2 kilometer length. This is something amazing. You know, 1 kilometer, how much is that? 2 kilometer. Or 1 gram gold can be put into a wire of 2 kilometer length. If you are a runner, you know how much is 2 kilometer. 2 kilometer is a very long distance. That means it is very ductile. And you know, when they make gold jewelry, you can't make jewelry of the pure gold. Can you make jewelry of the pure gold?
No, sir.
That what they said, 24 karat. What they mix? What they mix with the gold? What they mix with the gold? They say 22 karat, 18 karat. They are mixing silver or copper so that they can be made into jewelry or any shape they want. Very important. Gold is the most ductile. Certain points are important. Be noted with colored pens. They will become questions in the paper. They will become questions. So because the metals are malleable and ductiles, therefore they can be drawn into different shapes, and that is a need of our society. We need that in everyday life. Can I do the construction, metro construction, anything, if I can't draw the metals into different shapes? Metals are being used. Metals are, you have seen all over metals being used at your home also when you construct. You have window panes, doors, everything. You are using all these metals because they can be iron doors. You have seen aluminium. You have seen almaras and all that where these metals are used because they are malleable and ductile. This is a very important property which we use in our daily life. You use it or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Construction will become impossible. Otherwise, how will you have? वो कहते हैं लैंटर्न डल रहा है जी घर का, उसमें क्या यूज कर रहे हो तुम? सारा आयरन लगा रहे हो, आयरन. So you have seen how construction is being done because of this property. Metals are malleable and ductile. They can be given different shapes. Hence, they provide very good for construction purpose. All right, so far so good. Next, we will like to see the metals are, you are saying, good conductors of heat. Yes, we use a lot in our everyday life. What do you mean by good conductors of heat? What do you mean by good conductor of heat? Tell me what it means. That heat will flow from this heat. They can flow the heat of the flow of heat. The conduction of heat will take place. The conduction of heat will take place. That's what we are saying. Conduction of heat will take place. Right? So You have seen in your home utensils, the handles are plastic. There is a plastic on the handle. Why? Why we
So
have?
because the metal becomes hot
Then
on
the heat
heating.
will be conducted, and then it will also become hot. Then how will I use it? So you are making tea. On the end of it, you see they have a insulator plastic type of material. How can we perform an activity and experiment to show that metals are good conductors of heat? Here is an experiment we are doing. What we are doing, student? He says take aluminium or copper wire. What we are taking, student? Aluminium or copper wire on a stand. You can see this is a stand, and here what is that? This what is this? This is a metal wire. What metal wire? It can be copper wire, or you can take aluminium wire. This is a thick wire. You can take. This is the clamp on the stand. It is. Okay. Fix a pin to the free end of the wire using a wax. What I'm doing? Wax. You know what is wax? Candles are made up of the wax. Okay. Here what is we are doing? Fix a pin to the free end of the wire using a wax. Here we have a wax, and in the wax I am attaching a pin. Okay. This is my wax, student, and inside the wax you are putting a pin. You know, you have seen all pin. So we are attaching that. This is the free end of the wire. Heat the wire with a spirit lamp, candle, or a burner near the place where it is clamped. What do you observe after some time? Note your observation. Does the metal wire melt? Okay. Now, students, tell me. This is the setup. You are heating this wire at this point. This point. Heating is at this point. Wax and pin is at this point. Tell me what will be the observation. What will happen? What will be the observation, student, in this? What will happen after some time? This activity will show you what. Tell me what will happen. You are hitting the wire at this point. This is a wax and a pin. What will happen? Tell me, students, after some time. What is the observation? You are not hitting here. You are hitting at this point only.
So the wax will melt.
Why it will melt?
So because the metal is conducting heat.
Okay, then this will fall down. The heat, this is the point where we are heating. This will become hot at very high temperature. And as it becomes hot and high temperature, what will happen then? Here we are heating. The heat will start conducting, means the heat will conduction of heat will take place. Conduction of heat takes place from higher temperature to lower temperature. Higher temperature to the lower temperature, students. So the heat will travel from this to this. As this point, when it becomes hot, what will happen? The wax will melt, and then this will fall down. This will fall down. The pin will fall down. What this activity proves to us, students? Tell me, what is this?
So that metals are good conductors of heat and have high melting
The
point.
wire has not melted. Wax melts. One second, wire not melted with the heating. Okay. So what these points show that metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are 2 points good conductors of heat. So they will transfer heat immediately. Second, they metals have not melted, they have a high melting point. Metals have high melting point. The question will be, which are the best conductors of heat? Name the metals which are best conductors of heat. Such questions will be there. What is our answer?
So silver and copper are best conductors
Silver
of heat.
and copper. Silver and copper. Silver, copper, they are the best conductors. These points to be noted for the exams. And the poor ones are best
So lead and mercury.
conductors. Note down. And poor ones are lead and mercury. Note down the names because in the paper they will ask us. Good conductors, best conductors, silver and copper, silver and copper. Most malleable, most ductile metal is which one? Which is the most ductile metal?
So gold.
Gold. You have seen 2 kilometer long wire from 1 gram gold. 1 gram gold. Okay. So many things when we read it, we are amazed. We are amazed. Because this is the way we start learning the things. Now, students, we are setting up another experiment. When we set up electric circuit, you have studied what is an electric circuit, student? Electric circuit. You will have wire, key, battery. You will use battery and a bulb. If current will flow, bulb will light. If current will not flow, bulb will not light. Clear? Yes or no? Tell me. This is how we use a electric circuit. Simple electric circuit. Here we have a battery. Battery, battery has two terminals, plus and minus. You are aware of it. Every battery, every cell you use. How we represent battery, students, like this, plus and minus. And this is there are the clips, two clips here. Switch can be on or off. In our everyday home also we put switch on off. You are doing it. You are doing all this. Are you doing it or not? Switch on, switch off. We are doing it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, every time. Then what are these clips meant for? There is a bulb. What I will put in the clips? If I have a wire, I will put in the clip to test it whether it conducts electricity or not. Okay? If I will put a metal wire, if there is a metal wire, student, for example, if I take copper wire, silver, you can take any aluminium wires. You can attach these wires here. Wire. And when I attach wire and complete the circuit, what will happen? What will happen? Tell me, in these cases, what will happen? Will the bulb light up? This is an active experiment which we can do in the science lab. What we observe for these metals, the bulb glows. Bulb glows, student, when circuit is complete. What this proves? What this proves? What will it prove, student? What is the conclusion? That metals are good conductors of electricity. We are saying metals are good conductors of electricity. You know what connections are there? Electrical connections. You are using which wire? Copper wires are being used at your home. Copper wires for the electrical connections at your home. Tell me yes or no fast.
Yes, sir.
So copper is a very good conductor. Silver is a better conductor. Gold is also very good conductor, but they are very costly. So we are using mainly copper wires. And if I put something which is not metal, will the bulb glow? Tell me. Will the bulb glow? If I put something like carbon, will the bulb glow here? If I put some other material instead of this, then there will be no electrical conduction and bulb will not glow. So metals are good conductors of heat and metals are good conductors of electricity. If we want to demonstrate, we can do this activity. Very simple setup, we can do it. Note down. You must have seen that wires that carry current in your homes have a coating of PVC or a rubber like material. Is it true? Have you seen the
Yes,
wires?
sir.
Any wire you take, a mobile phones you are charging, there is a rubber coating on that. Why you put a rubber coating? This is a wire. On the top of this, you see there is a rubber coating. Coating is there. What is that coating? That these are rubber like material made up of a polymer PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Why do we need that coating? Why do we need coating? Tell me. Because there is a current in the wire. If the coating is not there, what will happen? Then we will be electrocuted, short circuit and all that. You have seen such problems are there. Current is there, so there has to be a coating, and current does not flow in that coating. These are called insulators. Okay, note down everything. Next important point we are coming. What happens when metal strike a hard surface? Hard surface. If a metal is there, student, if take some coins, they fall on the ground. Do you listen any sound or not? Tell me. Do they produce sound?
Yes, sir.
Do metals produce sound? I'm saying your coins in your hands, they fall down. Do they make any sound? The answer is yes, they make a sound.
Yes.
Similarly, when I talked of the school bells, the bells in the school, you are aware of those bells and what they hammer it with anything. They're made up of a metal. These bells are made up of a metal. Strike it with some hammer, anything. What happens? They they will produce a sound. ठीक है? So they produce sound. What is this known as?
So sonorous.
Metals are sonorous. Very good answer. Very good answer. So you have seen, students, we have studied what we have done in this class. Very simple. We have
So
studied the
physical properties of metals.
physical properties of the metal. What are the key takeaway? What is the key takeaway from today's lesson? Key takeaway of the lesson one of this metals and non-metals. Can we summarize the properties of the metals? Physical properties of the metal. What properties are there?
So they are ductile. They are good
Malle-
conductors of heat and electricity.
Malleable, ductile. They are
So they are lustrous.
good conductors of heat.
So they are sonorous and they are hard.
They are good conductors of electricity. They are hard, very good, and generally hard, I'm saying. There will be exceptions. We will study that exceptions also. Then questions will be asked on that. And they are
So
sonorous.
they are sonorous.
Very good answers have been given by you. That means you have understood the lecture completely. This is the first part of that, which explains the physical properties, and we have done activities and experiments to show that, to demonstrate them. Therefore, we will meet you in the next class further about the important properties of non-metals, and we will compare non-metals and metals, and we will also study some of the exceptions that exist between metals and non-metals, and we will try to solve questions on metals and metals. So I thank you very much. It was a very good participation. You could answer most of the questions. Okay, then I will see you in the next class.
Thank you so